heist is pretty... I think the first one is the time crystal, the death crystal, how you see your death and your fate, and Morty becomes...
Right.
Hold on.
Thanks,
Nate.
Nate.
One more. That wasn't good. That wasn't good.
Alright, we try take one.
That was good.
Oh, that was smooth.
That was good.
That was smooth.
Any headphone user is going to get absolutely
told you,
just
this-
deafened.
We have to cut that out.
I'm gonna bass boost it. Screw you.
It's gonna be completely unknown, but Cedric, Care, and Dothan have to just develop like a weird group thing just for no reason besides the fact that us in real life we all have the same first name.
Roll initiative.
Thanks, Nate.
Thanks.
Do it
That
again.
was good.
No.
Say it.
No.
All right. Host.
Oh, we're starting to look at
We've
me.
been recording.
Okay.
Yes, that's why we did the takes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why you do
Wow.
1,
I
2, 3.
didn't
It's for
know.
sync.
Yes.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
clap sync.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
I was homeschooled
They usually
in
do
the
it as
house.
like in movies where it's like the board.
It only
You know?
works if there's a video along with. But
Normally.
we're doing it for funsies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One day we'll have video.
Alright.
Hopefully not.
And take 5.
Take 364. That was weak.
It's because I didn't do it. And you went like this.
Host.
Okay, hold
You
on.
just went
Host,
boy.
please.
You're gonna have to cut all this out.
I
Nate.
know. Baby has her bottle.
Don't cut out the take one.
No, my
Yeah.
bottle's at your house.
Okay.
Okay. All right, you guys ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Read.
Start.
Okay. All right, guys. Welcome to Ithalian After Hours, where we're going to be talking about what happened in the last session in all things D&D. I have a few of our players here with us today. So last session.
Last session.
I don't even know how to begin. Last session was interesting.
I thought it was
By
awesome.
far.
I loved it.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was a great session.
Days and Dilemmas.
All
Yeah.
roleplay, but good fun.
It was
Yeah.
one of our best sessions, I think.
For not getting to hit anything, I had a pretty good
Oh
time.
my
Well,
gosh, we didn't.
you hit something.
You did. You cut off.
You
the
also
fucking
hit-
I
fingers.
also hit something.
You cut off some fingers, which
Combat was not had, however.
No combat, but
Yeah.
things were hit.
a lot of role playing happened. It was really,
Yes.
really good.
Yep.
A lot of
Yes.
conversations were had. A lot of things were talked about.
Mhm.
So I guess talking about that, the first question is gonna be to Care or
Okay.
Liam. Oh yeah, so I guess I should introduce who's actually here at the table.
Yes,
with
you
me
probably
today.
should.
Yeah.
So I have. How about you guys introduce yourselves?
I am Levi Parker.
Who's Dafton?
Yes,
Yeah,
there
I
we
play
go.
Dafton.
I'm Liam. I play Care.
I'm Lane, and I get the wonderful privilege of playing Cedric.
I am Jaren, and I am the storyteller.
Nate's also here, but he's on his phone. He plays Coil sometimes.
We're a little bit more informal here.
Well, I'm
on
not a
Italian
guest.
After
I'm
Hours.
just the watcher behind the
Yes, you get to
microphone.
sit and watch.
You're the gatekeeper of in between the
I am the
microphone and
podcast cook.
He is podcast Cerberus.
computer. Great.
You ever been
Okay.
cucked by a podcast before?
Amy, please get
All
us
right,
off this.
so Care.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's have the
Let's move
first
on to the
question go
questions.
to you. So a lot of conversations were had last session. So what does Care think about being everyone's therapist? And did he ever expect to be the more approachable one?
It's delightfully strange. Care is not used to being the one that people trust, and he's appreciating this position in the group as someone who can kind of get knowledge from everyone
Mhm.
and kind of directs the group towards useful goals and to kind of give insight towards them as best he can.
Well, he is one of our older characters. One of the
Yes.
oldest characters.
He is tied with Cedric in regards to age, but
Uh-huh.
Cedric as a dwarf is young for a dwarf, as 55,
Yeah.
and Care is old for a U1T, which ages the same rate as humans, and he's, mid-50s.
He's got like 20 some odd years left in him before
Scott.
it's over.
Exactly.
Same.
Unless I get eternal life, it's I only got like 25 years left to get to level 20.
So he's like, finally, someone asked me questions. No, because I mean, I think at the beginning, at least at the very, very, very beginning, Kara was probably one of the most scariest, weird-looking, kind of freaky characters that like no one really wanted to talk to because he had a weird voice and we just didn't really know what to think. So it's kind of, how do you feel about being like, you know, everybody loves
Therapy
you now.
care.
Yeah,
Therapy
there we
care.
go. You're a Care Bear.
I'm liking it. It's good. It is a useful position to have and a fun position to have. In character, not a character.
Do you think he's gonna start getting annoyed of it at any time? Be like, stop asking me questions.
Depending on how childish and unnecessary the questions go, but so far they've been really interesting, useful insights to the people that he's been traveling with that he still doesn't know terribly well. Getting a useful rapport with, and like a really good rapport with both Sokka and Cedric, and knowledge as to kind of who these people are that he's traveling with.
Yeah, you're getting to learn a lot about the people around you.
You guys are like really just hitting the tip of the iceberg, so to speak, with each other's characters. But like I said already, it's been really fun as the DM to watch kind of the back and forth in between Care and anyone he's spoken to. Because Care, like I said, has been like both a former in the conversation, like helping mold it in a certain direction, but also you're malleable yourself. So like as you're speaking, you can kind of see Care is thinking and being very just going with the flow of the conversation at points. So it's interesting to see that you're kind of being bounced around person to person as they come up to you, and you're allowing yourself to be changeable, which is really, really great. So it's going to be interesting to see where the relationships go from here, especially just as strangers you've met. Maybe at this point you guys known each other for a week or 2 weeks, something like that.
Good,
due to the travel.
good time. A week on a boat, which we didn't really talk, and then
Sure.
2 weeks of travel.
Yeah, 2 weeks of travel. So
Yeah,
a little bit of time, but yeah, it's interesting to see how these strangers are still interacting with one another due to just the tense and chaotic way you guys came together. How it's now formed into who are these people and how are we going to get used to each other.
And there's a clear group dynamic because of Kelsian and Dacthin are definitely like partner duo, partners in crime. But Dacthin's got himself in trouble with the group, so it's like an interesting dynamic there. Cedric and Aneth also have their own trouble that have been brought upon the group, so
they're more of a duo as well.
they're also a duo.
Their buddy cop is
They're
great.
buddy cops. So it's just a very interesting set of dynamics. You can make a very interesting chart of all these relationships so far.
I feel like it's kind of getting to the point of like, I don't know you, but I feel like I'm having to force myself to trust you.
Yes.
Just because of all the situations that we're getting ourselves in. It's like, who of you can I maybe not kill?
Yes.
Or get killed by?
It means I'm doing something right.
Like,
it's like, who of you is the
Because
maybe
when
the
I was
most,
talking to each one of you guys about your characters, that's really what I wanted to end up crafting, just as a beginning piece, is the fact that these are all very weird and strange people with very bleak and grim backgrounds to each and every one of them. So to see you all interact with one another, from the angst of Dacthin to still the very calculating Care, to just the straight up anger that is Sokka at almost all times. It's interesting, and I wanted to conform the I don't know who I can trust, but it's too dangerous to try and lone wolf it right now. And that's what I wanted to do with this caravan and set that setting so far. And it's been going very, very well, because I didn't expect some of this stuff to turn out, but it's turning out kind of how I was hoping, which is you guys are kind of on edge with each and every one of each other, even through these conversations.
Even you.
Cedric loves
you cut off his fingers.
Yeah,
several
first
times.
thing-
But he's fine now.
His first encounter with Dacthin is Dacthin cutting his fingers off.
But don't
And
worry,
he's
it's fine.
totally fine with it. He got a good chuckle out of it, and he didn't bleed out, so
Is
he's
that,
fine.
was that really your guys' first interaction
Yes,
with each
I'm
other?
pretty
The
sure
two
that was my-
characters?
I haven't had I don't think I've had major
Like,
interactions with...
Player-wise,
I haven't talked with you much. Like,
No, I
Not
dragged
at
you
all.
out of the.
It's been in
thing.
passing that
Yeah.
you two have spoken.
now
to
I've
each
really
other.
just talked with you.
Mhm.
I've really talked with Dustin. I've talked with Care. I've talked with Coyle a little bit. Just
Oh,
like
Coyle.
just like joking around with him, and then I know Annis, and I think that's about
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
I think it's kind of hard for us too because it's like it's technically only been a week.
Yeah, and it's just the beginning, and I
Yeah.
understand that. We all
Yeah.
understand that.
That was
Yeah.
session 4.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's just different because our last campaign, it's like we all automatically were friends and trusted each other.
Yeah,
and it
and
was
this-
okay. Besides,
Besides you.
Besides certain exceptions to that rule.
yes,
Yeah, besides
to
someone.
our other angsty characters, but
And now
I think
you guys
this
are
one-
playing characters that are not the heroes.
Yeah, and that's what I love about it. I love that this campaign is going to be a lot less of like, oh, these are the brave heroes.
Yeah,
I'm super excited to see how everyone turns out.
it's nice. We have no expectations.
Because we have no expectations. We're all really weird in our own way. Cedric is dumb and he's very cocky.
Yep.
And that is his, that is his problem. That's why he's
What is your intelligence?
9 or 10?
Yeah,
I think it's 10. My career, despite
that's why I
here's the
find it
thing.
hilarious when you say school.
Yeah. That's
cool.
I'm trying to like play into it a little bit.
Yeah,
For my charisma's 9.
Yeah.
Cedric speaks a lot, and he for me, I feel like he talks like a more of a bardish character with the way he acts,
Mhm.
but no one believes him. He can't persuade anyone.
yeah. No,
No.
your session 0 was rough because you had to make like 8
I
different
made like
persuasion
8 persuasion checks with a -1.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he passed like none of them.
I'm curious, among the people who actually like wrote down alignments on their character sheet, what that looks like among everyone.
I don't really use alignments,
I
but
know- yeah.
I at least mark them to kind of get like an idea of where these characters are starting out.
Mhm.
So,
Did I say chaotic neutral?
you never spoke of what you were, but
Okay.
from the character you're portraying, I've already made note as to what care is. But yeah, that's a pretty fair guess.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, chaotic good. Because
Yeah, I
you
can
are
see it.
Hmm.
Both you and Anna, they're
Yeah.
overall,
Mhm.
you guys have a pretty good aspect of viewing things in the
Yeah.
morals, but it doesn't mean that you guys aren't rambunctious or
Yes.
rowdy.
He
Which is why I love your buddy cop, is because it's not like there's a good cop, bad cop. It's
Mhm.
just 2 cops that will escalate at the same level. It's like, okay, time to go. And then it just turns into its own craziness, and I love it.
exactly. But yeah, it's weird.
Mhm.
Everyone's got their thing. I feel like everyone's gonna be a little bit more darker than Cedric, but I'm okay with that.
Mhm.
I'm totally okay with just playing someone who's very prideful, even though he can't really back it up. That is exactly why when you said you cut my fingers off, I put my fingers off because he's cocky. He's like, all right,
Yeah.
do it. You won't.
Talking to everyone about what their not just physical challenges will be of like
Mhm.
what it could be, or giving me the info, but talking about what their mental blocks are and what arcs they have to get through for themselves as characters has been very, very fun and interesting. And I'm having a bit of like the Kronk moment of like, oh yeah, it's coming again. Because like we'll set up already something like that, and then I talk to you guys about the character arcs, and you guys are bringing me this stuff. I'm like, oh well, this fits to already what I'm planning even better. So just time to ramp it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so fun. Even so far, it's so much fun.
Mhm.
I really have missed it. We've been gone for 2 months,
Yes.
and now we're coming back together again. It's a lot of fun.
It felt really good to be able to just
Shoot the breeze.
yes,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
spit nonsense for hours. It was so funny listening to you talk about how he talks a lot, and how he doesn't say anything, like he just doesn't make a point, because that's exactly what I'm going for. And the fact that it works, I'm so
I
happy.
was like, he just yammers on all the time.
I think that waiting for a ploy where Cedric is going to try just to bore a guard instead of distract or deceive, just bore him to death.
I will totally do that.
You'll take Jesse
Absolutely.
with you and be like, tell him the story.
Copy one of his stories word for word.
Right?
Hey, tell him about that one time. Well,
Jesse, tell him about the total pageant.
the guy just goes to sleep.
When I was a young boy.
Hey, this is a good one.
So, okay, that's a question. question. What do y'all think about the new people that just so happen to kind of catch up
I don't
to
trust
us?
them at all. But I love them.
Yeah.
Do not trust.
I mean, you love Jesse. I mean,
I
there
love
was,
Jesse.
There was Jesse, Bralda, and Endon, I think, as well. I mean, Care, you and Endon kind of, you guys are relating really good because you're from the same place.
The same race.
Same race. And then Cedric is just in love with Jesse.
Mm.
So,
How many stories did I listen to?
Well, the thing is that if you couldn't tell, Jessadiah speaks very, very slowly. So for him to get through one of his stories without you interrupting, so he changes his stories, it's probably a good, 30 minutes.
Oh, he just sat there and listened, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? You don't trust him, but you'll love him.
Absolutely.
That's about right. Is I don't trust what's going on with these folk, but I'm hoping that they're not going to betray us because I do. I like Esnan, if only because of Endon, sorry,
Mhm.
because we both do have that rapport of
Yeah.
being from the same place and speaking the same tongue. Even if it wasn't him and it was his parents who
Yeah.
actually from the city of Cheats.
Mm-hmm.
And also Brulda, whatever her deal is also interesting.
She's weird.
The
She
nice...
said maybe 2-3 words
Yeah.
for you guys.
Yeah.
I'd love to go at some point prod her for information a little bit, see what her deal is.
You know what? The one thing that was always kind of bothering me.
What's that?
When we first met them, and Jesse was like, "There's a storm coming. You might want to watch out." And then Brawler, the entire time we were walking, she's looking up at the sky, kind of just like nervous, and then it just continued on into Cedric's vision daydream. I don't know. I just
That was weird.
whole
That was
thing
really weird.
Just
So-
kind of made me be like, all right, what do you know that we don't know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they probably know more than they're letting on, but as to whose side they're on, because I imagine when the Yakal, the two showed up, I imagine that they got asked as to what's going, if they had seen Aneth and Sokka, but they didn't, as far as we know, they didn't rat you guys out, which is, as far as we know. We haven't asked them
I
directly.
mean, they know that I'm there.
They know that you're there
Yeah.
for sure, because you've been talking to Jessadiah for hours. So if someone had asked Jessadiah and had waited to listen to his answer,
Yeah.
they might.
Waited.
He's a snitch. I swear to God.
I don't think so, though.
They're just.
I
make me
really hope that they're
nervous.
just nice people and that they're just great characters and that they're not. I'm not gonna have to kill them. I really
Aw.
hope.
I mean,
Jessadiah's gonna stab you in the back.
I know he will murder.
You're
me.
gonna wake up in your sleep and he's slowly digging a sword into your chest with his one arm.
No,
You
he's
were
just gonna
supposed
fall
to
on
wake
top
up.
of them.
Yeah. Well, hell.
Just slowly fucking aiming the musket.
Oh.
Just
Pull the
wait, you
trigger
can't
with
aim a
one arm.
musket.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So.
My goal with them, their presentation wise, was to create even weirder characters than you, and I believe I hit that mark quite well.
Oh,
Minotaur with a dream catcher in her hair, completely white and absolutely messed up. A one-armed turtle with a gnarled stick, and a tattooed Yonti man.
Just
I was-
literal master Oogway.
Yeah. I was bummed we didn't get to talk about them
You've
more.
saved me.
Yes.
Monkey.
So, kind of going back, what to Cedric
Oh, okay.
with his daydreaming and his vision.
Mm-hmm.
What are you feeling about that? Because you were pretty freaked out. Your character was pretty freaked
Yeah,
out.
he's still very,
So-
even a week later, he's very on edge about what he saw because after he talked to Care and he put pieces together,
Yeah.
he knows that Yeffin's in a little bit of trouble, which is not good for him. So he's kind of worried about that, and he wants to learn more about this Kasala. Correct?
Kasala.
Oh, let's go! I got one. Kasala, and figure out what's going on after hearing about how they kind of have a rivalry and learning that Yeffin's rival is getting stronger.
How do you think it's going to affect you?
I'm not sure yet. It was really, I mean, it was really interesting because in the dream, when I was drowning and I was trying to pull the chains off, and I heard, I'm going to assume it was Yeffin saying, "Fight it." That was something that was really important, you know, to know that, like, Yeffin was, like, still trying to, like, help me with what was going on, because my dream, my vision was going to be something different, but it was overtaken by Kasala.
Mm-hmm.
And that was very weird, seeing, you know, Cedric was very humbled in that moment, seeing, you know, the reason, you know, seeing what led him to go to, I don't want to say religion, but become a cleric.
Yeah, because he doesn't seem like that kind of a person to choose
an
religion
interesting
above
person.
all else.
And it will be this will
Both clerics in this party are not like your mainstream, you know, clean, pure of heart cleric.
Yeah.
Both have their own little thing.
Yeah.
I do like kind of what Nick said just yesterday, last session, where he's just like, I'm not good with physical medicine. I just know how to do the magic medicine, which already is kind of telling of Kelsion's character, because he's had, like, he's slap on hand cast heal spell.
Do you know this fall?
Yeah.
Okay.
He kept us alive. He kept all y'all alive in session 3.
I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Nick is here as well. He's so happy that he's able to come to do our sound for us. And he's just like mouthing words
He's
to
just
us
sound guy.
in the
Yeah.
background. Like, what? I'm pure. What are you talking about? So it's kind of entertaining. We're kind of all here today almost.
I love you going up to Care asking, okay, what's going on with this dream? I go, hey, does Yeffin have any enemies? And you go, oh, yeah, thanks, bye.
I know it had been a while, so I was
Yeah,
expecting the question
that
to come
was
up, but me and him had talked before about some rivals or things that Yeffin would have faced
He's
off
not
against.
smart. That's the thing. He wouldn't have put 2 and 2 together. He would have been thinking, you know, what does this mean? Who is this person? Unless he had someone help him, because he's not smart.
And it's a great way of how you handled it too. It's awesome.
Yeah. But still, you know, you always like to see a
Yeah.
little bit of character development.
Mhm.
And in episode 4 too.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, it's because I'm not too scared of starting to show little tidbits even at the beginning here, because each one of y'all have so much that you guys will be strangers to each other until it is fully developed.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things I love about, you know, playing with how many people we play with.
Mhm.
Is that, you know,
Yeah.
we all don't learn about each other very quickly. It's going to take a long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
And I'm excited to see all that.
No. I mean, we started getting into backstories and backgrounds, which I'm pretty excited
Yes. You're taking the
Because-
first steps into backgrounds, I think,
about.
this
Yes.
section.
I mean, we've already
They're just
learned
the
so
tiniest
much.
details on my notes, man. Like I have
Yeah.
for everyone, like I said, from the stuff you guys know about yourselves to the stuff that is yet to come. It's gonna be great.
Well, I mean, I'm excited for the next couple sessions because we are going to Cedric's hometown where he grew up.
Mhm.
So
Ah.
he grew up in Repton. So it's going to be very interesting for him to go back because that is where he started too.
Mhm.
That's where he started in session 0. He literally went that way. That's been his journey so far.
You're like, I haven't gotten very far.
Yes, exactly. And so I'm very excited to see what happens to him in the next couple weeks and how it'll play out.
So still speaking of Cedric, oh my goodness, he's caused a lot of problems for our
Okay.
group so far.
It-
Okay,
Okay.
so
Yes.
I mean, I don't even know, but what kind of digging into? Like,
I'm gonna be
all
honest.
that
If you would
stuff.
just given me up, he wouldn't have been mad.
You'd be like, I understand.
He would have, because you know I put you all in danger for something that I feel like he's dumb, so he doesn't know that he can't really like explain himself. He'll get killed. But like he feels like he could just explain himself, be like, look, I didn't know.
Yeah.
You know why? You know, so he's gonna go through that mindset. But
Yeah.
that was like, you know, his main argument. The reason he was defending himself so much is that, you know, he was just helping someone out. The whole
Mhm.
reason, his whole goal right now is to gain experience. That's how
Yeah.
you learn, is to gain experience. that's why he's been talking to Jesse so much, because he views Jesse as this wise old hound. I'm pretty sure I said that verbatim
Yeah,
in
you
the
did.
session
Yeah,
yesterday.
yeah, you did.
But just gaining experience, and when someone is like, "Hey, I need your help with something,"
Yeah.
I'll pay you. He'll be like, "Okay, I'm getting paid. Help and get experience and
Yeah.
meet a new person.
Kind of
I'm
see what
totally fine with that."
your journey entails.
And then he met a weird satyr girl, and now he's like, "All right, well, this is interesting. This is cool. I'm gonna keep going with this." And then it wasn't until the end that he found out that he was working, that the person he was helping was a Jaeger, and so he tells himself like, "Oh well, I didn't know he was a Jaeger.
Yeah.
I should be fine."
Do you think that is there any hope for your Jaeger friend? I mean,
I think so. I mean, the fact that I saw him in session 2, and with Beetle,
Beetle.
and
oh my goodness.
he came back for his horse, so I know he's alive and that he survived.
Yeah.
So I think he'll be all right. I mean, Jaegers are very strong. Our friend was very powerful, just from the little I got to see him in combat. We, in our session 0, we fought, what was it called? It was called an Amarok, correct?
Emerald. Yeah.
It was like a beast. And
Large, gigantic wolf.
and we beat it for its lunch money.
Do you
and-
think we'll see him again?
I personally do. So does Cedric. He
Yeah.
just doesn't know how to contact him. But yeah, and it just depends, because the thing about this world is Jaegers are like the taboo topic,
Mm-hmm.
because everyone in the government's like, Jaegers are terrible, awful people that need to be killed.
Yeah.
But I believe that most of the time that's not the case, and they're just trying to be killed.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have different feelings about Jaeger. Cedric personally does not care. He's not going to be like, "Oh, I was working with a Jaeger. Oh, that's gross. I'm so sorry."
Well-
Jaeger's going to be like, "Oh," or Cedric is going to be like, "Oh, okay. Well, he's a Jaeger.
Yeah.
Why does he need to die? He didn't do anything."
Well, since you helped here, now we got like a bounty on your head,
I know.
and I mean, we have that group that's after us. What do you guys think about that? Like, as a collective group, about the Heinous Eight?
Yes.
What are your guys' kind of predictions about what's gonna happen with that?
And how immediately their threats gonna come to fruition, I got no idea. As far as Care is concerned, he likes Cedric. He thinks Cedric is actually probably a good person.
And I will tie him up and
Probably.
leave him for this.
I think everyone will just be like, "All right."
I'd be the one to actually tackle him and start that.
I would fight you.
Let me take your fingers as souvenir.
Care has no
I'll take
part-
fingers again.
Care doesn't want to hinder Cedric at all, and during the Yakal sweep, he was trying to assist when he
Yeah.
could, but he doesn't intend to stick his neck or Coil's neck out for a stranger.
Yeah.
Is pretty much how it is.
Yeah.
Is he wants Cedric to live and will not sell him out unless it is important to Coil's survival at this point. Coil and Care's survival.
Well, makes sense.
I get
I
that.
mean, like, we're all strangers. I mean, we're all acquainted. I guess we could be upgraded to acquaintances, but we're not friends.
Work buddies.
Here, yeah, there we go. We're buddies. It's like the people that you see and you're like, oh, I know you. We get along, but we're not friends.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like only things you do for like your loved ones,
Mhm.
let alone someone you've known for a week. So I mean, that's
All right,
understandable.
1v8. Let's do it.
Do you think that? What do you think we're gonna do? Because I mean,
We were told we have work in Krulderg.
yeah.
So
Yes.
I think that I hope so, that we're at least gonna get to do some of that first.
Yeah.
And hopefully, get a little bit more experience before we fight apparently people that will kill us.
Apparently, because evidently I mean, Sokka asked Lux and had that conversation
And
with
Lux
them.
said you would die.
Yeah, exactly. And she's not used to hearing that. She's used to being like, well, I'm the one that's gonna enforce it and kill
Sokka
you.
is also a level above everyone
Yeah.
else
Yes.
and actually has her
Mhm.
archetype, and that's
Yeah.
still a thing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to kind of see where it's gonna end up.
Yeah.
One thing I'm really sad about is Innes was not able to, or Abigail was not
Yeah.
able to be at the session.
Mhm.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I think that it would have added a lot more to that story.
Yes.
Your story with Cedric.
Mm-hmm. I Yeah,
all that
absolutely. Because
stuff.
she was the other one who was with Jaros.
Exactly. So it would have been.
I
Would've
know.
been
I kind of
more
had to take all the. I kind of had to take all the shit.
Mhm.
But
But it's
yeah.
okay.
Moment of silence for Nate.
We're just gonna let you fall with that one.
Thanks, Nate.
So, but yeah, I mean,
I'm excited for whenever they arrive. It's going to be some fun times.
I'm sure.
The Heinous 8 are not a fun group.
TPK.
Yeah.
TPK.
not again.
Not again.
Oh, that
Not
would
again.
suck.
Perhaps
We don't
for
talk
those
about it.
Yeah.
We don't talk.
My
about
first
all
session,
that.
TPK.
You're the bad luck.
I didn't do anything.
It was
Claudio
Claudio.
broke the crystal.
That ended so well. Okay, but oh my goodness. But yeah, no, I think last session was really good. We all had conversations and we
Mhm.
learned a lot more, and we learned that we're all about to die.
Yeah.
Which is beautiful. It's great. So I think my last question I should have asked you earlier, to Care,
Okay.
about kind of, you know, how you're everyone's therapist now, obviously, and it seems like Sokka has kind of built a trust and an understanding, as
Yes.
she likes
Understanding
to call it.
is a good word
Yeah, an understanding of like, I don't kill you, you don't kill me, and well, you know. And so she came to you about her injuries,
Yes.
like this really strange kind of happening. So what was Care thinking about that when that was happening?
for it. More and more as this trip goes on, he is kind of growing more and more accustomed to the strangeness of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was just not that long prior that we fought Maedra, who was one of the first people that he had spoken to prior about portents and
Yes.
foresight. She was a hag, then we killed, and now you, who are a constantly reviving undead entity of some sort. So the world is kind of just growing stranger all the time for him, and he is also kind of lost in his own world of strangeness in
Yeah.
regards to the occasional visions that he's seeing and what the cards tell him. So he might be somewhat out of touch in regards to what the real world is
see.
anymore.
Well, because you came from a strange place to here.
Yes.
It's totally different. Do you think that Care is gonna kind of share his visions and anything that's kind of happening with him to others in the group? Or is he just gonna kind of keep that more to himself?
I will keep the fact that I'm receiving visions more to myself. I think you already overheard my conversation with Maedra about
Yeah,
that
I
to
think
some
I was
degree.
there.
So
for that
you
one.
know
Mhm.
somewhat that I have that ability.
Yeah, I think that's why Sokka came to you, because like I think I was with you when we had that conversation
Yes.
with Maedra, because but I think that's why she kind of comes to you, 'cause she knows a little bit about you,
Mhm.
so it's like a safer option.
He will not let that tell unless it is absolutely necessary. He will probably share the information from the visions in an oblique way if he
Mhm.
can, if it's helpful to other people. But he doesn't want to let that go at just a moment because that's a particularly private matter for
Yeah.
him.
So what do you think about the whole Dathan situation? Because I feel like Sokka and you, okay?
Yes.
It was us. We were the only ones really dealing with that, and we differ on how we were gonna handle that situation.
Because you were like, all right, put the dog down. And I was like, maybe not that.
And I'm just here like, why am I being attacked?
Well, it really.
Why am I the bad guy?
I mean, what do you think? Do you think that we're being very totally unreasonable, or
Oh yeah,
what,
definitely.
what is Dathan thinking with everything that
That
Kara
he
and
did
I
nothing
are?
wrong.
Yeah.
I
Coolest
did
guy in the
nothing
party.
wrong.
Well, I mean, is that just the attitude he has of like, this is just who I am, and y'all are overreacting, or do you kind of see what they're coming from, or what's going on in that little head of his?
Well, You kept saying that you cleaned up his mess, but it kind of cleaned itself up though. Like what happened. I couldn't really control that. I'm saying things. I have a type of memory.
DM perspective. If Sokka had not hopped into that
Oh
fight,
yeah, I probably
that would have
murdered
been
him.
a half team TPK.
Yeah,
it would have been the
I would've
Cedric and
murdered
Sokka story.
most people.
It would have just been them. Well, no, because you went down and it would have only been Calcion and Care standing.
And
That
I had
would've
no
been it.
spells. It was a bad
And
situation.
that's what I'm saying is that Sokka pulled attention.
Oh,
Calcion
yeah.
would have been out, and then it would have been Care, Sokka, Cedric, and Aneth. That's the story that would have lived. That's what it would have been. It would have been a half team TPK. It would have been real bad. And yeah, you're right. Like it may have gone differently if Care somehow tanked out Maedra and ran up and just punched her to death with cantrips in his bare fists. But you have to realize is before Sokka and then Cedric, as the NPC began climbing down, everyone in that cave was out or close to it.
Yeah. You also can't be mad at me for, having Coil on the battlefield. Why is Coil on the battlefield?
Which
You
we
can't get
also
mad at me
chastised.
about.
Yeah.
You can't get mad at me about that.
Well,
You guys brought the
Okay, so
child
you're
I
into
believe
battle.
I believe Care already has reprimanded Coil for staying in the middle of it already.
But still, you can't get mad at me because there was a child on the battlefield.
Okay.
You can't get mad at me because I lied to you and I'm a ticking time bomb. It couldn't be me.
Yeah. You have to realize you can't tell them what their characters feel.
Oh,
If
yeah,
they're pissed
oh,
at
yeah,
you for
definitely
hiding
not.
that from them, they
Definitely
can
not.
be pissed at you.
Would you? I mean, like, let's just say, oh,
Yeah, it's
I'm
like
a
shaking
party.
Liam's hand
Yeah.
and then 8 days down the road you figure out he's a serial killer.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I should have told you that.
Too
Sorry
late.
about your parents.
Oh.
Oh,
Yike.
oof.
I mean, is it just because he's just oblivious to the fact that there's other people around him? Or does he really actually care that he almost killed half his team?
Yes, he does care about that, but he can't control it.
Well, so he doesn't want to try to make amends with anything that's happening.
That's why he's distancing himself.
Mhm.
He happened before. Very bad things happened, and he, doesn't want to hurt people that he's working with.
I do, however, like his edge that he's had with this situation is more of back off.
Yeah,
Than
back off,
anything else.
leave me alone, stay away.
Mhm. Well, it's not just distance. It's like when you're confronted with it, it's a character thing where you yourself are feeling cornered and for that become aggressive. That little
Oh yeah,
the sprouting relationship and rivalry that Sokka and Dathan already have is a pretty believable one and one that should sprout even further. And it's going to be fun to see it either come to a climax or find some sort of peaceful resolution.
So what does Sokka's actual opinion on Dathan's standoffishness at the moment?
Oh, she wants to punch his face out.
we
Like,
tried before and that failed.
Yeah, okay, we don't need to talk about that.
I think we do.
If she gets a sword, it's going to be pretty bad.
She did miss a bird.
Oh, that's
She
so
heard-
She also
stressful
doesn't
first.
know what birds are, apparently.
Okay.
That
I
is
just
true.
being a smart ass. No,
Well, she rolled a
she's-
natural 1, I believe,
Yeah,
in the
I
attack.
did.
That's
Yeah.
why she whiffed.
Those
Bird's
dice
AC
are
is not
cursed.
high.
No.
I
He also
used
has a
his
hit point.
dice. I used Nick's dice, and they were cursed.
Yeah.
They were not good dice.
One of the 2 purple dice are not cursed. I found which one it was.
Did you
Okay.
mark them?
Unfortunately, I forgot to mark them.
You're dumb.
I'll figure it out by next session.
Mhm.
Better.
Yeah, you'll
No.
figure it out eventually.
When it kills you.
Yep. And you roll on that one.
I already rolled in that one, but it was not in combat, so I'm safe.
I didn't roll a 1 yesterday. I had a good. Rolled a
You
bunch.
want to know how many ability checks there are on D&D?
Rolled like 4 2s though.
It hasn't killed me yet.
Yeah, well, no, Sokka's just really frustrated because she's having to
Instead of a
learn
mimic,
that...
I'll just get a door that has power word kill on it. Just
Glyph boarding.
Calcion opens door. Calcion falls dead.
Yeah.
And no one has Revivify.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
New character time.
Yeah, you guys.
Are both
Don't.
are both clerics getting
Both clerics.
revivified?
I'll learn
or-
Wait, they
Revivify.
should.
You're both gonna do it?
Absolutely.
Okay. That's probably good. In case
But,
one of you goes
There's
down.
so many people in our party. Both of us are gonna need.
I mean,
revival.
how many-
You're pretty damage output cleric, but I feel like a healing spell or two for you would probably be good.
I have cure wounds. I've used it a couple.
That's
times.
great. Yeah.
I can clone maybe. That's about as far as I can do for you. I am useless to you as a healer.
I have burb. I do
It's you and
1d4
me,
plus 2 healing, I think.
Yeah.
I'll still be doing damage, but I can heal.
Mm-hmm.
You are gonna be our big damage.
Yes.
You're
Also-
big damage and tank.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're
Status
also
effects.
damage and tank status effects.
These are the physical fighters.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Which is good because in any scenario of combat, you need the frontliners to help pull aggro while the
Yes.
ranged guys do their thing. Because if you don't have these two, you are in trouble, Care, because you can't outrun most physical fighters. If there's an
I
enemy
won't.
barbarian on the field, you will be absolutely. It will be Loki and Hulk moment. You will just be destroyed.
It's true.
Like, you can maybe make them make a wisdom save and the barbarian's in trouble, but that's if you survive the round of absolute.
What's the highest CR for a familiar?
A familiar? That's a good
Depends
question.
on the source. Like
yeah,
if you
exactly.
Like, could you turn your familiar into like an eagle that you could ride on?
A giant
Not
eagle?
a giant eagle, no. They're all
Are there-
CR0 or CR
Yeah,
1-8 stuff.
Exactly.
Until
half.
you get into warlock familiars like the Quasit and stuff like that.
If you do Pact of the Chain, I think that you can get some upgraded stuff with that.
Yes, some of
Pseudo
that stuff.
dragons,
Yep.
Mhm.
which are great.
Yep,
Imps.
those are fun.
Which do a little bit more in combat, but
Mhm.
no.
Pseudo
The
dragons.
default familiar can't
The-
even attack.
But if there are spells such as summon woodland creature, summon fey creature,
Mhm.
summon greater demon, planar ally, stuff like that. Planar ally is fun but difficult to pull off because you pretty much have to hold something for an hour because it takes an hour to cast and it could fail.
Yep.
But if you do, you can capture something like an angel or just a pretty powerful demon. So depending on what it is,
Yeah.
yeah. But you guys will be fun to do, especially because Tempest, Channel Divinity,
Yep.
I'll just do max damage on a lightning or thunder spell.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll be doing.
Do they get like Thunder Smite or something like that?
I don't think so. I think the highest level I get is, is it called Thunderbolt?
Thunderbolt?
Is that the name of the
no,
spell?
No. That I don't think you get that because that's a wizard thing.
I think I get.
That's
I don't
lightning
get. I know I
bolt.
don't get chain lightning. I think I get.
You get Destructive Wave.
Yes, destructive.
Fifth level Destructive Wave.
That's
it's a
my fifth
paladin
level.
spell. It's 5. It's like 5d6
It's like 5d6.
radiant, 5d6 thunder.
Yes.
So he can instantly just do 30 thunder along with 5d6 radiant
Whoa.
with his channel
Wow.
divinity. Yeah.
Mhm.
That his channel divinity is just max thunder damage on a attack he does.
Yes.
So if he
So
gets
right
the
now,
access
the-
to a wizard spell like Lightning Bolt and just upcasts it because he's a full caster cleric, 9th level Lightning Bolt, I use my channel divinity, do max damage.
Right now I can do. I can do Thunder Wave and it only does 2d8, so I can do max 16 right now.
Mhm. But
Well, that's
we
still
due
really
to due to
good.
homebrew, it's +5 on top of that.
Yeah, so it's 21.
But that's
21 points of damage in a single hit. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just your action.
Three.
You
Yep.
can then follow up with bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
And Thunderwave knocks people prone and pushes them away
Yeah.
from you, so you can
Thunderwave's
you
a
can
good spell.
clear bonus action heal.
But at that point, I don't know if I'd prefer if I'd get more damage on an inflict wounds. You know.
Sure, yeah, because that's pretty crazy. But
Because that's
as you've experienced already from your session 0, cleric spells are off the wazoo with
yeah.
damage in the first level.
Yes.
Guiding bolts, inflict wounds,
Yes.
all that fun stuff.
I'm trying just to go for the
I actually had a question
Utility.
for you, Deathton. What is kind of your thought process and plan with Rala? Because you two have had small interactions, but both have been decently tense and have ended quickly. Although you have been pursuing her. Not in that way, but
can't cheat on his cleric boyfriend.
Okay, well,
That
I
is
ship
true.
it. Okay, third wheel, threesome, whatever you want.
You can only have so many ships.
It's true.
And
Too
all
many
our
and it gets
ships
weird.
sink because we're horrible people.
Daphne, Calcion.
I ship Coil and Cedric.
Yikes.
Yikes.
Okay, Cedric's dumb. He's not retarded.
Handsome
You sure
child.
about that?
That's
With enough
illegal.
brain damage.
He knows what laws are.
with
a
enough
cleric.
brain damage.
Okay, sorry.
No, but his plan with that is because he thinks that she has information that can help him with what he is trying to do. Because of why he's there.
Sure. Any plans as to how you're going to do said thing? That's more of the question, because me and you have talked before about how you're wanting to speak with her more, but each one of your attempts has not ended well.
No, just finding a better time, because he doesn't want to feel like he's intruding on her time with Kramer, and don't want to,
make her feel threatened.
Make her feel threatened, or be the well, already is the bad guy, but he doesn't want to just be attacked because of what he already knows.
Yeah. Okay.
So giving her some more space or room to thus then try to talk a bit more.
Sure. I was kind of surprised that you didn't try anything last session with how much traveling there was in between.
I wanted to, but I just couldn't speak. I was just frozen.
And then, actually, the question for Nick is, Kelsion was extremely quiet last session. Is there a reason as to why, or?
Not exactly, but when the people that were going after Cedric and Aneth, when they showed up, I wasn't too sure who exactly they were after, so I just tried to keep my head down. And when I realized it was not after me, I tried to help out Cedric on trying to hide at least a bit better than what he was.
It's better than a 7. So thank you.
Still not the best.
Can't believe I rolled a 3 to quickly check in that.
Yeah. It was a smart move. You're just trying to look out for your acquaintances.
Yeah,
just by a
I
quick
just
peek.
want to quickly walk and look.
I do think it
Pretty
fits, though, because
smooth.
just for how quick you did it, you wouldn't have been able to catch
Yeah.
a natural 20 Aneth and a partially translucent dwarf.
in a
in
actual box closet.
Yeah.
Because she has double proficiency in stealth, I believe, so she already has a +9, and she's only a level 2, so when she rolled a natural 20, Aneth just disappeared.
I tried, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you're a cleric, man.
I'm a-
That's not your thing.
I'm not gonna hide.
Next time, you're just gonna swing your hammer.
Whoever enters just
Whack.
bonk.
Yeah.
But no, here's the thing. He didn't do that because he knows that person could kill him very easily and very quickly.
Wax toe, lops head off.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kelsion was a little too occupied with the clothes, though. I think that's probably why.
I just rolled with that bit, so I'm just
Was
like,
it
all right, let's go.
Was it good?
We're going with this.
Dude, combat was
Bizarre
almost
card.
rolled with that half elf. You have no
Yeah.
idea. With each character I make characteristics for them and how they act, what their thought processes are, and things like that. And with her character specifically, yeah, she would have attacked you for a pile of clothing. She would have straight up tried to kill you.
I'm really surprised that did not happen.
Yeah.
I was expecting it.
I also wanted that fight, but I'm like, this is a losing fight. I already know it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, the thing is that your only teammates are hiding and trying not to be seen, so them hopping out to help you probably would have been the worst thing in the moment. Yeah, but that dude did not see.
No,
anything.
you were supposed
I
to.
was
Only saw
scared.
you.
I mean, Cedric was scared, but I really wanted to do a little bit afterwards where Cedric was talking up this big game that he didn't get seen because he didn't know. I just wanted to be like, yeah, bro, I was so I was so sneaky, And then he finds out that he found him. I almost did it, but I was like, man, he was very today that was a rough day for him.
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
He had a bad
very
day.
much so.
Yeah.
Very, very much so.
No, the laughter stopped quickly and turned into a very tense moment of that. Yeah, no, I'm experimenting with just different scenarios, as short as that one was, but doing stuff like that is fun.
Mhm.
So even those small moments can be quite tense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yesterday's session was just good
Yeah.
all
It
around.
was good.
We broke character a lot with
Oh,
the laughter, but
It was goofy shoes at points.
There were a few times where like, all right, I have things that pop into my mind that Kara would not say at all, but I have to say them.
We would just lose it. Like, oh.
You asked
God.
which one of the tieflings was a bottom. Ask Care.
Nate saying the puberty thing killed me. That killed me.
What? I don't know if I recall this.
Which
Oh,
when Sokka's like,
No, he said it. It was.
No,
he said it.
that was Nate.
you said
Oh.
you're bleeding.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And then like,
Oh my
you're
God,
like,
that was
I didn't know you
so
saw me
funny.
as a father.
That was so funny.
It was real
It
bad.
was supposed to be
That
such a
was-
tense moment, and
that
then
was-
it was like
When
That
Lux,
was-
when Lux like saw my fingers cut off, and I was just I screamed, and then I was just laughing.
Mhm.
I was just laughing it off. I thought that was
And I'm just staring. I'm just like, you're an idiot. Don't lie.
saying
You brought this upon yourself.
And then Jesse immediately finds your finger.
that was great too. No offense, old timer, but you only have one eye.
His
Instantly
finger
finds
on
it.
backwards.
Oh.
That was really funny.
You have a good medicine, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So one of you has that point.
I
I realized that if both clerics didn't have any medicine proficiency,
I have a
I
plus
don't
7.
have a medicine proficiency, but I'm pretty well off of that stat block.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
your wisdom.
Yeah.
Mhm. Are any of you proficient? Any of the two clerics proficient in religion?
Nope. Wait.
Let me check.
I think I am. I have a plus
I
1.
think I
instead of-
might be proficient in religion, actually.
That makes sense though, because
I-
you're a bit more
I'm
well read.
religious.
Yes, I am.
I have
Okay,
a
you are.
I have a plus 1 instead of a plus 0.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
No.
because your proficiency is 2, so if you
No,
had a
my
minus-
intelligence and my charisma are 9. Never
Yeah.
mind.
Yike.
My religion is a plus 1 instead of a minus 1.
Big oof.
For a charismatic character, he's just not very convincing with his own charisma.
I'm really good at seeing stuff though.
It's funny that he
Sure.
doesn't know that he can't convince himself that he's charismatic. That's-
I love playing Sadrix so
Sadric's
much.
very fun. Sadrix and Jessadiah's just small conversation was so great.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it was just an all-around really good time yesterday.
Hmm.
And I'm very interested to see
No.
what happens in the future. I'm excited.
Let's go kill rats and Cruel Dirk.
Yeah.
We have a
Oh,
goblin
if
problem.
only.
I've waited so long. We just have to go solve a goblin problem or something like that.
Problem is that in this world we can't like solve a goblin problem because like last campaign we had a goblin in our party.
Oh.
All the trash enemies that you
Oh,
would normally
no.
fight in a D&D like levels 1 to 3 are like we treat them with sapience
Yeah.
and stuff.
Not this time.
Yeah, we had a kobold and a goblin
Yep.
within campaign 1 party.
Yep.
So a lot of things you kill within the first 3 levels.
We have a problem
guys
with
have
some
fun.
filthy kobolds.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
It's just Bite. It's just a picture of a white blur.
It's all
Have
him.
fun.
It's him and his descendants.
Oh.
we
they talk like this.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, that would be hilarious.
No, you guys would get wrecked.
And
Ah!
TPK.
If you gave me Bite stat sheet.
level
No,
17
stop
bite
Yeah,
it.
against-
ruins.
Yeah, ruins all of the menagerie.
In
Oh
one
yeah,
turn.
and by the way, like, how do you guys feel about, at least for now, your team name, unless that changes?
I love
Oh,
it.
Menagerie's good.
I like it.
The-
a lot.
yeah,
It's so
the
good.
menagerie's good.
It fits us so well.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What I like is that in my mind, it's almost like a circus of dismay sort of
Yes.
feel to it, and I love that entire feeling. Is all of you have your own flair and depression with each one of these characters, and it's kind of great that every one of you has your own Spitfire attitude in some way, shape, or form.
Mhm.
That's very colorful, and then there's also the grit to each one of you guys. So that was very fun.
Looking forward to next session.
Yeah. It should be pretty good. And yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying my DMing.
Very
'cause
much so.
I'm
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
really
Very much
trying
so.
to step up
Yeah.
week by week and trying to improve in some way.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, this is by far my favorite session, I think. Session 4, the last one.
Yes.
Mhm.
Like, by far. It was really good.
Well, we didn't get to hit anything.
I know!
Well, I did.
Okay.
Sokka didn't get hit anything.
She hit a bird.
You
Yeah.
could
She
have
actually
but you
hit
missed.
it?
Yeah,
Yes.
the first time she missed, the second
Okay.
time she punched it.
I was
Yeah,
so
and it just
upset.
disintegrated.
And it
So
healed you.
upset.
Yeah.
No, that made her more pissed. Just,
That
how
will
dare
that
you?
item will probably be useful
Oh
later
yes.
down the road,
Oh yes, definitely.
even if it's just medevac.
Yep.
Can you give me that book now?
I was really hoping.
Uh.
So the whole thing that I asked him, I was like, "Do you think Cedric?" Because I was making my rounds. I'm like, "Do you think Cedric hears this conversation?" And he said no, because I rolled a bad perception check. I rolled like a 2.
Aw.
But I wanted to hear it because I was just gonna be like, "All right, you guys are talking," and in the background you say, just give him the book." You know?
I'm not sure if you'll be getting the book.
Okay.
But...
She's wanting to build to be an intelligence bar. She actually has a positive intelligence. Like,
You can't cast spells when you're raging or concentrate on them.
well, it doesn't mean that she can't cast a spell before anything.
I don't always rage. I only have 2 a day.
You're
Those
cooking
2
the
fights a
wizard.
day. Yeah!
Why not? We'll see. I think we'll see.
The only intelligence caster in the party. Blood hunters don't do that, right?
Blood
Are they-
hunters are intelligent.
Well,
Their
well, they
intelligence?
switched to intelligence, but they were naturally wisdom. And
Got it.
Matt Mercer pretty much said you can do both.
Got it. Okay.
So he chose the original wisdom based.
Got it,
So
okay.
He's a wisdom based.
Only intelligence caster in the party.
Feels bad.
The actual
Gets cucked by an orc.
like
feels
stat
bad.
sheet for them does say intelligence. Though.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
2020 version. at least.
Exactly. That's what
On
I'm saying. It's
on
their original.
yeah, on
Yeah.
the thing that I have, it's the
Well, no, their
wisdom.
original is wisdom. Don't
Yeah.
worry about that.
Makes
But
sense either way.
2020 switched to intelligence.
Mhm.
But yeah, that actually, I'll say that is why you're probably not going to see a lore reason or an integration of his houses of magic.
Mhm.
Is because very soon I will be pushing forward not only my houses of magic,
Mhm.
but an expanded spell list that you guys have seen throughout campaign 1 that will
Yep.
be available to care and things like that.
Cool.
And as that is the thing I've been working on for so long, I'd rather that I work and finish on that rather than putting pause to then create lore reasons as to why gravity and time magic are now a full frontal thing within this world.
Fair enough.
Mm.
When I've already taken the time to build 2 different houses of magic with their own lore reasons. So,
Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I've already told you about like a lot of the 2 houses
Yes.
and then some of the expanded spell lists in general.
Looking
So,
forward to it.
mhm. For some martial things, so I think you'll actually gain access to a few of the expanded, and you'll have a lot. You'll have a lot new play things, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have any more questions for y'all. If you guys have any questions to ask each other or any more comments about yesterday's session, like,
How's Coil feeling about all this, Nate?
oh.
Everything's fucked.
How
Does Coil know
terrified
the
of
word
you?
fucked?
I don't know.
Probably not.
Probably not.
On a
your
scale
vicious
of 1
mockery
to
is
10,
amazing.
how scared are you?
He's just vibing on the cards. He's
It's
fine.
true.
I know.
Overall, probably like a 3.
I mean, he
Like
got run over
Okay.
yesterday.
It's
He
true.
did get run over.
I actually did have a question.
Okay.
I'm making a Deadpool now.
Okay.
Who's kicking the bucket first in the menagerie?
Kicking the bucket first.
Yikes.
No one has
Oh.
died. You guys have been knocked unconscious, but who's the first to be died, even if he's revived, like immediately after?
Can I
Who's-
be
who's
honest?
punching the ticket first?
Can I be honest?
I have 12 hit
You know,
points.
I think
I
it's
have
gonna
probably
be
either
an
the
AC
wizard
of
or the bard.
11.
Why is
Fair
it
point.
me?
I went unconscious the
You
first
have a
combat.
chance at the lower levels to take yourself out.
Oh
Keep
yeah,
that in mind.
definitely.
Jackson or
I do
Pear?
self damage.
I don't think it's gonna be here because he's careful enough he won't stick in the main
Yeah,
fight.
it's in his
Unless he
name.
gets cornered like he did that one time.
Yeah.
But that
It
is
was
also a
real
frontline
close,
fight.
man. Oh my
That's
god,
That's
they
true.
saved you.
Who was the first to go unconscious? It was you. You?
I went down the
No,
first fight.
Yeah, okay.
I was
On the
protecting
beach, you got hit
Coil.
with a crossbow
Yeah.
bolt and went.
After getting
It's
cucked by 2
hilarious.
successful saving throws that would have one-shot that prick.
Yeah, that woman, that like level 0 warlock had enough dexterity just to duck under.
Fuck her. Oh my gosh.
That's cute.
It literally, I didn't even have to add her. She didn't have a save, but I didn't even need to add her mod because I rolled higher than what your DC was.
Coil needs to
Not be in the middle of fights.
Yeah. Don't be in the battlefield.
I do
I
like
didn't
how
have
you
a
were
choice
just like
in the matter. I was
pretty
trying
much
to help
speaking up in
Kelsey
that tree in the
Use
second
Use the
fight.
buddy system.
yes.
You gotta stay with your buddy.
Yeah, my buddy would have been Kelsey on, who was doing a pretty
Kelsey
good job.
was
at
stuck on the
getting out.
roof.
Yeah, I was stuck to the roof. What did you?
You fell down to the ground, and then I went to help you, and then I
Yeah,
got
he cut you out
cornered.
of those
Yeah,
web-
I know.
that web trap.
And then your buddy left you.
But I kind of had people that I needed to get up before they died.
Dude, you got so lucky that third fight. You were just hiding behind your shield for like 2 rounds and it was working. Because what, you have an AC 19?
I believe so.
Because your shield actually gives you that, I believe.
Yeah.
And then you're 20. You're the highest AC. No, yeah, but
Yeah, I have
So-
an AC of 19.
I have 15.
I have a guess who I think will kick the bucket first. But I'm not going to share it.
Say
I'll
it.
keep it to myself.
Say it.
Okay, I think that it is honestly a tie between Coil and Deathton. Because the thing is that
Really?
Coil has a negative to his constitution.
Yes.
Even leveling
Yeah.
up to be a decent level later down the road when tougher fights come, he probably won't have the health to withstand those hits. So he may go down. On top of that, Dafton, so far you have played extremely, extremely, extremely aggressively. And if you meet someone who can not only match your metal, but top it, you probably will be just single targeted by the one dude you decided to duel and murdered
Yeah.
if you don't have teammates come save you.
You're kind of cocky
So that's...
at this point as well.
Well, I'm not saying like you deserve it should you die, but
Oh,
I'm
no.
saying that as
That's what
Dafton,
I'm saying.
as Dafton's
That's what
being
we're all
played,
saying.
you are in danger. But
Everyone
overall,
else in the party hates me, so
most likely to
you
die
know.
first, possibly Coil if Coil doesn't play a bit more team safe.
Yes.
Which is stay behind someone.
Backline.
What do you
Yes.
think
Don't
about that?
front
Backline.
You
Shut
are
up.
no longer.
No,
a
that's what I
front line.
did.
Stay in the backpack.
He has a D8 to roll, right?
Yes.
He rolled at first a 1, which meant he would have had negative health. But I allow you to re-roll for higher, and he rolled an 8. But because of his con, he only got 6 HP added on. So he's sitting at 12 health. And how it goes, what me and him spoke of, is that if he gets like a 1 and he re-rolls and it's a 2, I'm not going to let him get 0 health or negative health or like -1 from his max.
Yeah.
But he'll get only 1 or 2 as a bump for that level.
Should we?
So
Yeah,
I
sure
think
thing.
we'll wrap up for this for now, but it was a good talks, guys. It was
Yeah.
good to be back.
Very much so.
Really
Yeah, it
glad
is.
that
Yeah,
we're able to
definitely.
do this. So
See you next time.
thanks
Indeed.
for joining.
No, that was bad. No. Don't end it. Alright, I gotta do one more. Alright,
3, 2, 1.
Whoa.
there we go.
Nate.
Nate!
We're done.
Why?
End the podcast.